Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit TRE.radio.
TRE in the afternoon. Presented by Hannah Murray.
Good afternoon. It's just gone 5:05 and you are listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today, we have Steve Holmes, Michael Senka and Luke Watkins. Hello.
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 Thank you all for coming in. If you are listening at home and you'd like to get involved, you can. Here's how.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
What a beautiful day, it's a wonderful life.
Now, there's this guy that I used to interview quite regularly. William Hanson is his name, and he's very, 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 very posh. And he used to do regular kind of articles in the Daily Mail that were kind of checklists to see how posh or not you are. And he did this article that kind of to see how tacky you were, how many things that you did in your life to show how tacky you were. I think tacky was the word. Anyway, I was reading this article and kind of laughing and kind of feeling slightly embarrassed because there was quite a lot of them that I could relate to. So I interviewed him and he made me feel very silly, but in a nice way, I guess, if that's possible. So this article reminded me of that because one of the things in this particular article was fridge magnets. Apparently posh people who are, you know, nice. I can't remember the words that he used in this article, but anyway, if you're posh, you don't have fridge magnets, basically. And my fridge is covered in fridge magnets because wherever I go on holiday, not even a holiday, sometimes it can just be a night somewhere. I don't have to buy a fridge magnet, but I quite like to if it's somewhere I've really enjoyed being. And I like looking at it on the fridge. It reminds me of... And this article is exactly about that. It says, they might be seen as tat picked up on holiday, but catching a glimpse of a fridge magnet in the kitchen can boost a traveller's mood long after the trip has ended. Research has found that souvenirs can help to protect memories and trigger positive emotional responses. Do any of you have fridge magnets?
Yeah, we got loads.
Oh, good.
We got my idea of a balanced meal is a Big Mac in each hand.
Yeah.
If I can't be thin, please make all my friends fat.
Like it. I've got lots of jokes on mine as well.
I could agree with you, then we'd both be wrong.
It's probably more difficult to get these days as well with the sort of integrated fridge with you've got the door on the front.
Oh,
so
that's true.
But fortunately I haven't got one of those. I
originally thought a fridge magnet was a man who sold millions of fridges.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one.
One fridge
magnet, which we bought for someone who was a big fridge magnet fan like you guys, and he hadn't been to, I think it was to Prague, hadn't been to Prague. I thought, that'd be nice, he'll like that. And then we never saw him again. So, it now lives on our fridge. But that's
and have you not been compelled to buy more to keep Prague company?
It doesn't compel any good memories or anything. It doesn't compel bad memories, but it doesn't trigger anything. So it's never felt.
But don't you think he's lonely on his own?
I don't think Prague's that bothered. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure.
I don't think we haven't got any place ones. They're all sort of funny ones.
Oh, are they all funny ones?
Only funny ones.
Oh, I've got a mixture. I've got a mixture of funny ones and a mixture of... I've even got like obviously it's not real gold, but the gold H of Harrods, the symbol of Harrods. Someone bought me that much because H for Hannah. Yeah. So I've got a gold H. I've also got little kind of bottles of wine that are really small that are actually wine beer openers and things like that.
Just going to say that we've got one of those.
It's
right, practical things to have in your fridge.
Exactly.
We don't place things for fridge magnets. But Patty collects tea towels.
Okay.
So we got drawers for the tea towels of where we've been.
Yeah. Do you use them all?
Me?
Oh, sorry, does the household?
I don't even know.
Sorry, I disturbed you there.
I only have it on good authority that they're somewhere in the park.
Do you know if they get used?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Why would I?
Because not regularly is wrong, but I do kind of declutter things like tea towels and stuff every so often, because you can collect them over the years, and I've got like matching ones for our kitchen, so I kind of go through them every so often. And
do you have good tea towels for Sundays and that sort of thing?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I'm not that.
Thank God for that.
No.
You haven't got Sunday's tea towels?
Sunday
tea towels?
No,
and
just
teacup.
Yeah, but no, my tea towels and all of that match, because our kitchens are kind of duck egg blue kind of colour. So all the dishcloths and the tea towels and everything match.
Oh, so sad.
I've only got
so
into this.
men's talk.
Sorry, I'm going off piece, Tim. Sorry.
Matching tea towels. Have you got matching tea towels?
I've got.
I'm satisfied with matching socks.
We bought a Christmas set a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I get really upset when they're outside of the season, you know.
Right. What do you mean, like crockery and all?
No, just tea towels. But
tea towel
it's a little elf one. It's got elf feet hanging off the bottom. It's very cute.
Nice.
But then I saw it being used, last week, and I thought this is
that's
not
not
okay.
right. No.
You can't use the Christmas set at Easter time.
No.
So I'll go and get a duck egg blue set just for you guys and Easter as well.
Yeah, cool.
That's pretty good. Pretty cool. Yeah,
you have no tea towel comments at all, Steve?
No. So it's like a thing from the past, that, isn't it? Where your grandma used to go on holiday and come back with an ornament from Llandudno or wherever it's been, and then she ended up with a front room full of ornaments that nobody ever wanted.
I used to get my grandma, because she liked thimbles, so I used to bring back a thimble when I went on a school trip and stuff like that. I'd bring back a thimble, so she had quite a thimble collection at one stage.
Teapots.
Yep. They're big. They take up a lot of space.
No, they're little miniature teapots.
Oh, little tiny teapots.
Miniature teapots, miniature pill boxes, elephants.
Oh, God. Does she still collect? Have you still got all this in the house?
We've got them in boxes and with Sarah's Barbie dolls.
Are you going to
She's 36. Sarah's 36, by the way. This is not a 3-year-old.
No. Are you going to pass them on at any stage, or
nobody wants anything? You say to kids today, "Oh, you got Grandma's china." Like, I don't want Grandma's china. I want your china. We've got Grandma's china still. I mean, who? Yeah.
But what for?
Are you listening, Pat?
No, but I mean, when I say pass them on, I don't necessarily mean to family. I mean, if family don't want, then you could sell them or give them to charity.
Have you tried to sell anything here in Spain?
Yes, I do. I've just got into Vinted in the last few months, and I've sold quite a lot of stuff.
To people living in Spain?
Some people are in Spain, most people are in France, some are in the Netherlands, because you put it up onto the site and they
can't post anything to the UK anymore.
They haven't been from the UK.
Oh, right, okay.
No, they've all been Europe.
Right.
And it's been really easy. It's actually worked really well.
They sell China on
I haven't looked, actually. It's mostly kind of fashion and jewellery, but I think they do. There's all kinds of stuff. You can do books and everything.
All right.
I mean, it's quite time consuming, but you got time, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't know how much.
There's something seriously valuable in that collection. You don't know.
Exactly.
You have to look at it now.
I did. I found. Oh, don't. I've got a Barbara Streisand signed script from Yentl.
Wow, that's cool. That would be worth something.
I've got a Groucho Marx contract for the Tonight Show, the last Tonight Show in New York.
Wow.
Things that I bought over the years.
Yeah.
When I used to drink.
But did you buy these things because they're cool collector's items to own, or to pass on to your daughter, or to sell and make money?
No, they were just... because of the business that I was in, it was like a sort of thing that you did. You had them in your office. You had original prints of Batman and things like that. I don't know where they all are now. They're in boxes somewhere.
Wow. Those are worth some money. It's worth getting into those boxes. And Barbie, you never know, 36-year-old Barbie dolls might be worth something as well.
Absolutely. Have you ever collected anything?
I had an awful time with Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why awful?
Because it's a terrible story. I had lots of them. We had the Ewok Village, the Millennium Falcon, all the classics from the original Star Wars films. And then I hit the teenage years, and my desire for Star Wars went out the window, and I started to drink and party and girls and all this sort of thing. So we thought, let's sell all this stuff. So I did a job lot down the local cash converters for £100 or something, which to 15-year-old me was there's loads of
thousands now.
But then had these American guys come over, and we were talking to them about this, and they said that Ewok village is worth $15,000. The Millennium Falcon's worth $10,000, and so. I haven't fully recovered from it yet.
I can imagine.
It's £1,500.
Was it £100 was great then, but when it turned out 18 months later that it was more like $100,000, it didn't feel so worthwhile.
We used to collect all the Disney stuff. We used to go to Disney all the time, and we collected all the memorabilia watches, and pens, and ears, and.
When you say we used to, do you still have it?
No, they're all gone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I've still got like Snow White watches, but it comes in a commemorative box.
Yeah.
But it's not worth anything.
Really?
Well, no, because they're commemorative. Because like, it was a limited edition of 100 million.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. Have you ever collected anything, Steve?
No, not really. Like everybody else, used to have albums and LPs and stuff, and then I moved to Spain and we got rid of them all. And now I just wish I'd just kept the lot. You know?
I know. Well, I know they could be worth.
I'm getting rid of my CD collection.
Yeah.
I just gave loads to my friend. He's gone through the whole lot. Now I've got boxes and who listens to CDs?
I know.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just bought a car in the UK, an old car, a collector's car, which everybody thinks is stupid, but I love it. And it's got a CD player and a cassette player. And I've got none of those.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So now you can't listen to music.
That's right, yeah.
Where do I plug my phone into?
Exactly.
And we thought the people that collected fridge magnets were mad.
Yeah, you see, absolutely.
I'm quite close to taking out a big yellow box storage just to put all this memorabilia crap in. I realise we've got so much of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it becomes mad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm paying to keep this stuff that we're ultimately never going to look at. I pulled out a folder the other day, birthday cards from... You know, and
it's like when you clear your loft out, isn't it?
I just don't know why. I don't know why we're keeping them, Shannon. I don't know if you're listening, but I don't know why we're keeping them. I'm very happy to, obviously.
It's great fun to clear out if you get into the zone of do we need to, when you move is a good time, or beginning of the year, or change of season, that kind of thing to get into. I've only done it in the last few years or so, but it's so good.
The trouble is, we go through the birthday cards, and all of a sudden, I'll get rid of them and open it up, and it's Sarah saying, "I love you, Daddy."
Keep it.
I'm going to put that in a bin, am I?
No, exactly.
And of course not,
No.
To the best dad in the world.
Oh, you keep it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's fine. But having a folder or even a shoebox or whatever with cards in over the years, whether it's, Valentine's cards, birthday cards, whatever, from your loved ones, or with lovely messages in, are great. But you don't need a massive cardboard box, and you can go through them and you might find some that you go, oh, who was that? And you're thinking, why have I kept that? But you keep the sentimental ones, definitely.
I've got a new thing now. This is totally it's just off the...
That's all right.
It's really come to my head. Is that something that I've started doing, just to one or two people, just to drive them nuts, is at Christmas, I send them a Christmas card saying to Jeff and Elaine, all our love, Bert and Amy, can't wait to see you again. And of course, they haven't got... And they just sit there going... Who's that? Who's that? Is that when we were in Turkey,
Bert and Amy aren't listening.
Exactly.
And then just make up names and put them on, send them Christmas cards to
brilliant.
people.
So you do send Christmas cards, just not from you?
Only to annoy people.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Was that one from you then, that one I got that time? Yeah. Okay. This, I thought, was a bizarre article, the way they phrased it. Nokia mobile ringtone answers the call for nostalgia. It may be a blast from the past, but anyone who had a mobile phone in the 90s will remember the catchy Nokia ringtone. Yeah, that one. It's been named the most nostalgic sound of the 80s, 90s and noughties in a poll. Nostalgic sounds. It says top 10 sounds we miss most. Why would you miss that sound? It was annoying then.
And the frog one was the most...
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Oh, God, that blooming frog. I used to hate that. But, I mean, nostalgia's a funny thing. I
Not
don't...
what it used to be, is it?
Very good. But I mean, some of these things. So the Nokia ringtone is number 1. Number 2, typewriter keys clacking. Well, again, why would you miss that?
I can't. Yeah, my dad used to have an office just outside my bedroom, or his home office outside the bedroom, and he used to use the typewriter, getting back to my teenage years, as a way to wake me up on a Saturday and Sunday morning. He'd sit there clacking away at about 8 o'clock in the morning, knowing that I couldn't sleep through
So I'm guessing you don't miss that.
No, I don't, but, he's gone now, so in a way, you kind of do. I think, I'd like to
when if you used to hear that, it
would take me back. To being an angry teenager.
And the ding when it...
ding. Yeah, absolutely. The Nokia snake game. I'm trying to remember what noise that made. That was annoying. You'd go on for ages and then you'd bite your own tail and it would be over.
It blips, didn't it? And then you got
I think it was just a beep.
When you ate the...
Yeah. I don't think there was much of a sound to that. I know synthesizers in 80s pop songs, you don't need to miss that, you just listen to the music. A dial-up modem connecting to the internet. Why would you miss that? Ding, ding.
But if you could play that sound, if you used to win a competition or a quiz to teenagers and say, what is this sound? None of them would know what it is.
No, they wouldn't know.
None of them would know what the modem sounded like.
Absolutely. Cassette tapes being rewound. Do you remember when you had to get the pencil and go
just
back?
Press rewind.
Or you just press rewind on the thing, but when you had to do the pencil, when you were going back to a specific...
How do you feel when you used to pull it out the car? It would just come in and you could sit.
You'd try and rescue it and you'd see there'd be a fold in it and you'd have to try and kind of straighten it out.
It was even worse if they'd ones you'd recorded off the radio.
Yes, always did that. Rotary phone dialing.
I was just going to say that one. I was watching some program, but it was in America in the late 60s and stuff, and they were dialing in the phone, and I just thought nobody would know how to do that anymore. You would not have a clue.
But again, I saw something on the TV where they put one of these dialed-up telephones with a 15-year-old, and they were putting their fingers in the holes and pressing it.
Yeah,
they don't know.
I'd imagine the idea of having a landline full stop.
What about party? Do you remember party lines?
No.
Yeah.
There was a thing called party lines where you shared a line with your next door neighbour, so you'd pick up the phone and you'd hear them talking, and you'd say, how long are you going to be? Want to phone your girlfriend?
There was a shortage of phone lines, wasn't there, from British Telecom? I don't think it was British Telecom, but I know it was post office.
Yeah.
And you'd get one line for 2 houses.
Gosh.
Party line.
Oh, I've had a message from Keith who says, hello, Hannah, I still have the frog ringtone. People love it. No way. That's amazing. If I had that, I'd probably throw something at him. It's such an annoying sound. That's so funny. You still got it. Brilliant. What was I going to say? Oh, I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
Welcome to my world.
Let's take a break.
Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today, Steve Holmes, Michael Senker and Luke Watkins. There was an article last week, a small article that we talked about with the women that's been written about since because... it was quite an emotive subject. It was talking about inheritance and basically youngsters getting annoyed with their parents, quote, spending their inheritance. And there's another article here written by Anonymous because, surprise, surprise, she obviously didn't want people to know who she was. And the headline says, my inheritance is being drunk through a straw in a coconut in the Caribbean. A howl of anguish from the generation who fear their parents' high living will burn through their precious legacy. It's hardly a legacy, it's money that they're talking about. So she says, I'm at my parents' house in the West Country and I'm listening to their plans for Tuscany. We've booked a villa with a pool, my mother tells me, scrolling through online photos of a beautiful old Italian farmhouse overlooking olive groves. My mind does the maths. For just the 2 of you, I ask, or are some friends going to share the cost? Nope, she replies, YOLO after all. YOLO being an acronym for you only live once, and oh irony, it's one I taught her several years ago. It's become my parents' mantra. And she says, I'm afraid to say that I grow ever more resentful. It's not a pleasant thing to admit, but the fact is their dream holidays are draining my inheritance. As a 34-year-old millennial in an impossibly expensive property market, I'm relying on, at some stage, a handout from them. But all I can see is my money receding into the distance on a long-haul trip to Bali. Thoughts?
Shame. Such a good subject, actually.
It's interesting.
I've been looking this afternoon at flights to Australia for me and my wife to go at Christmas to see family.
Go for it.
Yeah, and when you look at the sitting front in the plane, it's quite expensive. But on the other hand, if I didn't do it, the kids would probably do it. So why not? You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm in a very fortunate position. I've got enough money to last me the rest of my life.
Marvellous.
As long as I die Wednesday.
Please don't.
No, that is a joke. I've got a 36-year-old daughter who does very well for herself. She's got her own business, she's got a house, nice car, blah, blah, blah. And she encourages us to enjoy it as much as we can, you know, whilst we can. Yeah. But if there is enough to buy her a little place in Ibiza, but she wouldn't say no. No, but I think it's unreasonable to think that that's yours. It's not yours.
It's absolutely not.
Whatever's left is yours.
Yeah.
Whatever's left is yours.
And if there isn't anything left because your parents have been enjoying their own money, then tough.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of money left from the savings and maybe property. But you know, if I want to spend it, I know my daughter would just go for it. Absolutely
Definitely.
Go for it.
I think it's really upsetting.
I do. I find it distressing.
I do.
Especially as I'm nearer that way.
Yeah. But I mean, for them to be, you know, claiming it as their own and what they rightly
and the
deserve.
Thing is, over the course of time, if you can help out, like with things like, you know, that they want a holiday or they need something done for the house, or you can give them something and enjoy it with them. You know, I don't want someone standing there going, it's still a bit of a pulse.
Give with a warm hand, not a cold hand. That's what I say. But and if you didn't give it to the kids or whatever, at the end of the day, it could be a nursing home fee, so you might as well spend it. In which case,
just take it with you.
I think it just speaks to the terrible entitlement of kids and people that age these days now. You know, that kind of don't really want to work. I mean, I'm generalising, but you know, lots of us don't particularly want to work, expect it all to be given for free, and then this idea that you could be appalled at your parents actually enjoying life.
Yeah,
you know, get to a point, having worked for however many years, have enough money to be able to go to Tuscany, go to Bali, whatever it is, and the kids are getting annoyed about that. It's crazy,
isn't it?
I mean, I obviously hope, you know, there'll be plenty left when the day finally comes. But if my parents spend it all, then so be it.
I don't know. What paper was that in? Was it Daily Mail?
Daily Mail, yes.
I'll rest my case. I mean, I think I don't. You know, that's probably they've done a poll of 3. You know, so
no. This is someone who's written an article on her experience, but it comes from the fact that there was an article last week talking about it as well. So a few people have kind of.
I wouldn't have thought there's a lot of kids think like that. I'd hope not. I'd really hope.
I've seen a few accounts on social media actually of couples who I'm not sure of their age, not old at all. Couples in their 60s, I suppose, who are going on. The kids have grown up and left, and they're enjoying themselves going on holiday and stuff, and their social media is something like spending the kids' inheritance. Like, that's what they've called themselves, and that's like the joke, that they're just basically having a great time going travelling and doing as much as possible, and that's their kind of line, which I thought was funny.
If you've been good parents and you've got good kids, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, interesting.
Never going to happen.
No, which is back to the entitlement thing again, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's those kind of principles of you know, you work, you earn your own money, you spend, you know, you spend it, you can budget yourself. It's just being an adult. I
think dynamics have changed as well over the years, where older retired people have now got money to spare, which they didn't have sort of 50s, 60s, early 60s, 50s, 60s. Now they've got money to spare, they're spending it and going on holiday. where the kids now and the employment is not the same. Buying a house is more difficult than it ever was, etc., etc. So I think, you know, in earlier times, the kids who didn't really expect, because there was nothing to expect.
No.
But I go with what I said before. I think most parents, if they can and they're in their position, will help the kids as they're going along. You know, if they need to buy something, an appliance for the house, and they're struggling, and you can afford to buy the fridge or the washing machine, then you do it, wouldn't you? I don't know. You say, well, you're not going to get anything. You know, you'll get it all when I'm gone.
It's nice to be able to help out when you can. Not everybody can.
Of course, then you can remind them as well.
Yeah.
When you ask them to do you a favour. Don't forget I bought you a fridge.
With a magnet.
Exactly. Yeah. So we all agree that it's wrong to expect.
Yeah, put that one away.
Definitely. We have a message here. Hi, Lorenzo from Mallorca. We're painting the house and we just thought it would be a good time to clear out. The amount of stuff we're chucking out is unbelievable. Yeah. That's definitely the time to do it when you're moving.
Get it on Vinted, Lorenzo.
Yes, get it on Vinted, absolutely. But it's true, when you're moving, you realise, because you're going through all these boxes and you're going, what is in this box? And you're kind of forced to empty the box and realise, well, do I want to put it all back in the box and take it with,
or do I want to, that's what we've done, because we've moved from
But you still got loads of boxes, you say.
I know, but it's just because I've still got the apartment, so I've just been doing it a bit at a time.
A bit at a time, yeah.
So like, we've been here a year.
Yeah.
And when we go back to someone, so it's been here at least a year. We haven't used it. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a good thing. I do that with clothes often, having to change the wardrobe with summer stuff and winter stuff. If I realise that I've gone through a whole season and not worn stuff, then I might think, am I likely to wear this again? And then it's a good time to put it to charity. Right, I'm boring you with clothes. We'll take a break.
Can't never bore me with clothes.
Oh, good.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today, we have Steve Holmes, Michael Senker and Luke Watkins. There's an interesting piece here with the headline, X-rated singers are harming fans, say Bananarama star. There's no shortage of flesh on show when today's pop stars take to the stage, but one 80s cover girl has warned such risque singers are not doing young fans any good. As one of the original members of Bananarama, Karen Woodward, says she's proud that the trio became pin-ups without being overtly sexy and found fame even while making their own clothes. She says the world's biggest selling pop stars often perform in outfits that leave little to the imagination. I totally agree with this. What do we think? I mean, it's difficult for men because I'm sure you don't mind looking at these pop stars that aren't wearing much. But I mean, what do you think about the kind of image and whatever the effect it might have on young girls?
I agree with you completely. I agree with the article completely. I think again, it's different. As I've said on this show before, I'm a father of a five-year-old girl, and so I read a quote the other day about men's perspective towards women only changes when they become a father of one.
Interesting.
So the whole appreciation for, as you said, I was quite happy with that before. Less clothes on music videos. All up for that sort of thing. Now I'm just very aware of kind of the effect it has on children today and everything else. It's kind of everything is so sexualized these days, and they have an understanding of it without understanding what it actually is or what it means, and it's a really dangerous space to get into, I think. And it's a kind of loss of innocence thing. Which
when
is
you see young girls copying music videos and doing
twerking,
doing these different dance moves, and you kind of think that's really inappropriate, but they don't know that it is. They're just copying the moves, and
so I think it's a scary one. But I mean, I think it's interesting because what was sexy in the 80s is changed. I mean, the definition of sexy has changed a lot, or sort of what's permissibly sexy in the media and everything else has changed a lot. And what's more worrying is what's it going to look like in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, hopefully completely naked.
It doesn't affect me because I don't listen to that music or watch those videos. Where would I? I wouldn't even know where to see them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but not necessarily videos, just stuff that's... I mean, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Where?
It really,
Where?
Well, on television, on award shows, on...
I watch the Oscars or something like that, or BAFTAs.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be watching the MTV.
You must be aware of it, though.
I'm aware of it, but it's not something that I see on a daily basis because I haven't got young children anymore. But but I can go back to remembering when they banned Elvis Presley could only be shown from the waist up.
Yeah.
On the Ed Sullivan show, right? The Beatles were disgusting. Rolling Stones, you wouldn't let your daughters near them. Sex Pistols. So it's been something that's gone on forever. I remember years and years ago I was doing security at the Osmonds concert in Finsbury Park, and I was on the front of the stage, and they were rocking and whatever they're doing, and all of a sudden all these young girls just surged towards the stage, and there was nothing you could do about it. I mean, it was just like it was. So that was, what do you do? There's girls jumping all over the place. You can't manhandle them, right? But it's always been something with these concerts and things like that. But I don't actually see these. I don't even know who sings. I
think it's quite interesting.
I mean, there's some girl won 6 music awards. I've never heard of.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's a sort of I'm same age. I mean, that's an age thing, but it's quite interesting to hear Luke Way's perspective with having a young daughter.
From having a young daughter, I agree
dramatically, and I think I can imagine why. But it's really strange that you've got these pop stars that gyrate in next to nothing, get a #1 record or whatever, but the social media and the abuse, online abuse, everything that goes on is sort of the loggerheads with each other. You've got one side that's sort of exhibitionist, and the other side which is sort of attacking that programme. It's I don't know. It's a weird situation.
I think the offensive language in the songs.
As well.
Also, like living in Spain. When I go to like a supermarket like Carrefour,
just play it.
Right, because they're not speaking. You're listening to people effing and blinding whilst you're buying your cornflakes.
It is weird.
But also the content of the songs has changed. I think the girl you're talking about who won the BAFTA is called Ray, and I'd barely heard of her before that. But she has a song. A lot of the chorus of which is about going out, sniffing cocaine, finding a man to sleep with that night because she's had an argument with her boyfriend. And
that sounds like an award-winning song to me.
But when you think about the Beatles and the Stones, when they were singing about LSD and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, but it was all kind of obscured. It wasn't said outright.
Wasn't in your face.
Exactly, you had to kind of look for the hidden meanings. These days, it's just there. And again, you think this is accessible to everyone, and this is played on
don't think that's right.
radio and all that sort of thing. So again, it's not just what they're wearing; the whole attitude of kind of that modern media thing.
But being 1963, I think I was 14, or I was 14 in 1963. I went to a Beatles concert. I'd never seen any. It was eye-opening. But compared to what's going on now, with, there was. I think there was a juggler on halfway through. It's just like now it's stadiums, and it's just
it's totally different.
It's in your face. It's really in your face.
But hardly ever in pop music do you get with women particularly. Do you get I think Adele was an amazing exception. I know she's lost a lot of weight now, but hardly ever do you get a female singer who just sings.
No Carole King anymore, is there?
No, exactly.
Carl
I mean, if you're doing music that has a beat, you're expected to dance, and therefore, if you're dancing, you're not wearing that much. You're not wearing much, and it all goes together. You don't get female singers that are just singing unless they're singing ballads.
And the manufactured groups, like what was the Girls Aloud? Or it's not Girls Aloud, but it was the other one.
Little Mix.
Little Mix. That was a manufactured band. It was manufactured in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
And it was just, they were just put together,
making money.
Yeah.
Told to dance in this way, whatever, but made their money and disappeared.
It's a strange one, and I feel for you, Luke.
Well, it's a dangerous one because of the whole sort of social media thing as well. You know, it starts to take on that same mantle, and lots of that influencer thing is about looking good at the paddle club gym or in Dubai or wherever. And again, it's all bikinis and less and less clothes. The whole body it's a show on its own. But,
definitely.
It's a scary world.
Yeah, it is, especially for young girls. I think that they need to look a certain way in order to be liked or to be successful or to get a boyfriend or whatever. And it's all.
Well, I also think it's terrifying as well that role of an influencer is being viewed as being successful in itself. And you think this kind of, this sort of 15 minutes of fame thing that's always been around, and then, Big Brother kind of took and really ran with, has now become a default thing for a lot of people. Yeah. What do you want to do? I want to be a YouTube star. I want to be an Instagram influencer. That's not real.
I want to be famous.
I mean, they are real things, but, that's
they get fortunes out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, fortunes and fortunes. I'm looking at, I am on Instagram for different reasons. Obviously, I like the comedians and Stacey Solomon, for instance. I find her very. But I mean, why would you watch? What are you watching an influencer for? What lipstick? What lipstick they wear? What hair gel they use? I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, and there's people that get
recommendations,
but they're not actually doing any work, and they're getting squillions.
I don't think as many as present themselves as getting squillions actually do.
No.
I think that it's a very small percentage that actually really do make a good income off it. The rest get sent some free stuff, and it's lovely, and you get invited to open an envelope, and you show up for that, and you get pictures.
If they can hit 50, 100 grand a year or something, it's
some can, but not everybody.
They've got 2 or 3 million followers. It's, you're talking, send me 50 pence.
I don't think it's 50 pence.
It's what
I do.
It's always been the same about wanting to look like, John Lennon or Jagger or whatever. It's just I think the medium of being able to get that information out there has changed dramatically since you were at a Beatles concert. It's just a different world. Completely different.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, because people did always want to look like the film stars.
You wanted a jacket like John Lennon, or you wanted shoes like Jagger,
Well, I going back to the Beatles thing, we went out, all my friends, we all went out and bought Beatle jackets.
Oh, there you go.
And high heel boots.
Because they influenced you to do so.
But that's absolutely correct, but not in the same way, because...
Well, no, because we didn't have social media.
No, but they were actual celebrities, they had something. They gave them a cachet, they had a talent, they could sing, they could dance, they could do whatever it is, And so the comedians you're watching, and even Stacey Solomon to some extent have, a value, have a talent that they can bring to this. A lot of them don't. And that's the terrifying part.
A lot of them, if you're talking fashion and makeup, their talent is being beautiful and being a model, and that's their job, if you like. It's such a struggle. And I'm not kind of standing up for them. I'm just trying to give the opposite kind of view, because being a model of sorts is a talent and is a skill with what they're doing. So I guess if you're following someone because you like them, or because you think they're pretty, or you like the clothes that they wear, and they put a video up showing a new hair product or lipstick or bikini or whatever, and you go, oh, that's a nice bikini, I love that colour, or oh, that's a nice lipstick or whatever, you might buy it. You don't need to necessarily really like that person or be obsessed with that person. If you're just thinking, I haven't bought a lipstick in a while, that looks like a nice colour, you're either going to get that idea, inspiration from a friend who says, I've bought this lipstick, the brand's brilliant, it's whatever, or a TV advert, that's a nice lipstick, or someone on Instagram. That's how we buy stuff. It's advertising, isn't it? It's just a different
getting it out there
kind of form.
Just going back to the original thing, who are these girls trying to sell to?
Other people online.
Millions of people.
No, but they're trying to sell to... I mean, I think the most attractive thing they'll be selling to is the boys.
No, their products will be other girls, because it will be bikinis and makeup.
What I'm saying is they're dancing and singing half naked on stage.
Those,
what audience are they going for?
Well, that's the bizarre thing. You'd think that what they're doing and the way that they're doing it for men, but most of their fans are young girls, and that's why it's weird.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Taylor Swift is a girl that sells to girls.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, she doesn't do a lot of kind of sexy stuff, does she, so much?
She's a different audience.
Yeah.
You know? And she's changed completely from when she was a country and western singer.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I remember Rihanna and being really shocked with Rihanna when she brought out that song S&M, which must be 15 years or so ago now. And I remember thinking, why on earth is she singing about that? Or a friend of mine was taking his daughter to a Rihanna concert, and she would have been 11 at the time because she was a massive Rihanna fan. And I said, have you heard her latest song? You know, she's dressed up in bits of leather with like a dog collar and stuff like that. And 11-year-old girls are going to the concert. Like, I just think that's so wrong and weird. Clearly, it looked like that was being done for a male audience, but there weren't so many men at the concert, apart from dads taking their daughters.
Yeah. And the dad's sitting there, the dad's sitting there thinking to himself, "What am I doing here?" Like, you know,
and then he realises, maybe I'm quite happy.
Whatever you do, don't look on the stage.
Yeah, difficult. Okay, we better take the last break.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the last part of Men Talk. With me in the studio today, Steve Holmes, Michael Senker and Luke Watkins. There's an article talking about school dinners. A head teacher has written a despairing letter to parents about the unacceptable lunches handed out at his school. The head teacher wrote to parents about the bad lunches at his school. His letter included photographs of the unappetizing meals with the question, how difficult is it to bake a potato? Mr. Ashley said he had no control over the lunches offered to his pupils. The food that is served in the canteen is completely unacceptable, so much so that if my own children's school served this, I would be exceptionally unhappy. For those of you that pay from your hard-earned wages, I can only apologise and I'm sorry. However, nothing I seem to do or say makes any difference, and I feel you have the right to know. Isn't that awful?
It's wonderful scapegoating.
The man in despair. He can't change the lunches.
No.
The fact that it sort of suggests he sends his own kids to a different school is worrying in itself, though, isn't it? I wouldn't send them to my own school. But...
No, that's a bit bizarre. Can you remember school dinners?
Loved them.
Yeah,
did
absolutely.
you?
Loved them. Yeah,
they were good.
Yeah, sort of but I kind of like sort of sloppy food. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. What kind of thing did you get?
I remember we used to have fish and chips every Friday. That was
nice.
That was consistent.
Good Catholic lad, yeah,
absolutely. But as I said, more sloppy the better. The kind of lasagnas, the spaghetti bologneses, things that were kind of, if you tipped your plate up and down, they'd really risk running on the floor.
Yeah,
I liked all that stuff.
Did you go to a good school?
I did go to a good school. Yeah.
I can tell by
That's why I don't have fridge magnets. It was good breeding.
Yes,
I used to love it when there was things like semolina because none of the other kids loved it. I loved it.
Really?
So,
yeah, I'm with you, Steve.
So you get sort of double portions,
Oh no!
With that horrible sort of jelly jam stuff.
That's right.
Good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I like the rice pudding that they did. That was quite nice.
Yeah, Manchester tart was another one they used to do.
What's a Manchester tart?
I'll give you enough phone number later.
Steve, what's a Manchester tart?
It's like a pastry base with like custard in it on the like a
Danish pastry kind of thing,
with jam.
It's Danish pastry made in Manchester.
Oh no! So is it like a harder pastry than like
a short crust pastry? Yeah,
oh,
it was good.
nice.
It was excellent.
My primary school, I don't remember having school dinners. I wasn't at my secondary school for very long because I got expelled. But when I went,
was that for not eating the school dinner?
No, that was. I was pretty. You might find it hard to believe I was pretty naughty as a kid.
Really, I would never have guessed that.
And then in the next school I went to, or the final school I went to, before I got expelled again, in the final time, was a place called Cranbrook College, a very, very nice private school. And they didn't have food on the premises, but we used to have vouchers to go to a restaurant in the high street.
No!
Called Sally Lunn's.
Come on! You went to a restaurant?
We went to all the kids went to a restaurant.
How many kids were there? Hundreds?
No. So it was like, there was only probably about 8 or 9 10
kids in the school?
No, in the class.
Oh.
Right, so... But
still, they sent all the kids to a restaurant.
You didn't have handcuffs on as well, did you?
No. They went to different restaurants. You could go to different restaurants.
Well, you could have a Chinese or a curry or...
No, there was like little English cafes and things like that. But not everybody went. Not everybody went. A lot of them took their own lunches.
Why would you?
Well, Sally Lunn's was lovely.
Yeah. But why would you have to take your own lunch if you could go
because Mummy made lunch.
It. Okay.
Mummy did that.
But did you have like proper meals or were they like sandwiches and things?
I don't remember. I just remember going there. I don't remember what the food was like.
I just remember it. I was being really basic, like chips and beans. Like chips with beans or without beans? With ketchup or without? Just really like
I just
chips
remember,
and beans.
I ever remember something with semolina with jam in the middle of it.
That's what they like.
Just bring me on the Manchester tart. We'll sort the rest out later.
I have to say, I did like the desserts with the custard.
Yeah.
So like a
jug of custard,
just a kind of cake with custard was nice, as long as the custard wasn't lumpy.
If you new kid on the end of the bench, you didn't get any custard because it had all gone by the time it got to you. So.
What about drinks? Do you remember what drinks there were?
Squash.
I think it was just
squash
and water. Yeah.
At 11 o'clock, we had a little drop of milk.
Oh, yeah.
We had a milk break
in
a bottle. A bottle with a silver top on it.
Like a third of a pint bottle.
Yeah. Did you have cookies as well?
No.
And in winter, you had to put it on the radiator pipes in the school to thaw it out because of
bloody luxury. Bloody luxury.
Oh, you had radiators.
Flashback.
Oh, funny. I can't believe...
We didn't get lunch vouchers like you anyway.
Exactly. That's so different, though.
Yeah, but we were paying this ridiculous amounts of money for the turn to go there.
Okay.
Till they'd had enough.
Gosh, going to restaurants. Whatever next. Right, we have 2 minutes left. What should we talk about for 2 minutes?
Boiling an egg?
Does it take 2 minutes?
3 minutes.
Let's talk about air fryers.
There was a programme on last night about air fryers. Did you see it?
No,
yes.
No, we've just got one and we haven't got a clue what it is.
You should have. If you got catch up, watch it. So there was a programme last night with this woman who'd written a book to do with air fryers because there's loads at the moment, and people had written in with all questions to do with air fryers, so there was an expert, and she showed all the things that you can and can't do in an air fryer, how to clean it, all kinds of. It was really interesting.
Let's see, this is 3 blokes here sitting looking at Hammer thinking, how can you get so excited about something that works in the kitchen?
To be fair, I don't use it. I don't do any of the cooking.
I
really don't.
Maybe that's why you're getting
We have an air fryer. I've used it twice, and both times I burnt the thing.
Yeah. Well, we've not got to grips with it at all at the moment. So.
Well, there's a lot of information on YouTube.
I'm quite keen on the air fryer. When you said cleaning it, that was why I've never cleaned the air fryer.
Well, no, just the drawer.
Oh, the trays.
The tray.
They go in the dishwasher. That's
exactly.
The oven things don't. You've got to clean the oven.
Yeah.
Clean the air fryer.
Not got one.
No, exactly. It's so much cheaper than using an oven. They were saying, all the different things that you can do instead. A baked potato, that was the example they did, one of the examples they did last night. You can do a baked potato in an air fryer. So it is quicker and it uses less energy, so it's cheaper.
Maybe we should get some of those at that school we just talked about.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
The oven don't get used much, so...
There you go.
You know my story, don't you?
No, we haven't got time. 20 seconds. Last week, they were in the top 10 best-selling books in Amazon.co.uk last week. 8 of them were air fryer cookings.
Really? No.
8 out of the 10. Yeah. Unbelievable. Right, we're at the end of the show. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Howard's next. I'm away next week as well, so I'll see you in a week's time. Bye.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this programme, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.